Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey there, MJ friends. Hope you had a good long holiday weekend. Pretty much the ideal start for the week that the MJ sector could possibly have seen. We got it. So we'll go into a bunch of individual names. A couple things to note first off. Number one, we are seeing correlation with CGC pick up for the first time in a couple of weeks. And we had a lot of US MSOs hit their low of the day, the same 5-minute candlestick that CGC hit the low of the day. And then, of course, the big ramp up in the bull action on CGC seen by some of the MSOs as well. So that's now something we're going to be watching very close going forward as CGC bulls are back in the driver's seat. Number two, if your individual name that you are tracking is not seeing bullish strength in the past couple of days, that's a red flag. If you're not seeing strength going to the upside when the whole sector is seeing euphoria and hype, I mean, I had Fidelity put out 8 news alerts today telling me, you know, CGC fueling cannabis sector higher, CGC calls active, blah, blah, blah. It's clear that we have this pump going right now. And if your name is not following that, it's a big red flag. If we're not seeing strength in an individual name right now, what's it going to take to get that bullish strength? The last thing you want to be doing is holding a position where you have to see bullish news for that individual company to try and bail you out of a position. So there's clearly big money at play on CGC today. And we could see that sustained buying that is clearly big money playing along, and it was almost robotic on the 5-minute time frame. I can't remember the last time I've seen CGC this strong on the 5-minute time frame so consistently throughout the vast majority of the day. We did see profit taking at the end of the day, but overall, the big turnaround happened. We hit a new low of the day. We broke to a lower low by 7 pennies. That's all the follow through the bulls got, or the bears got. And then the clear indication that the bulls were about to rip was the volume. When you see a volume spike on the 5-minute time frame 35 minutes into the morning, that is the second highest volume candlestick of the day, it is very notable and it stands out. Then the bull volume poured in, we ran hard, we consolidated. This was a bull flag on the 15-minute time frame, and then just slow and steady 5-minute uptrend for hours into the afternoon. So this action and this sentiment shift is enough for me to say our monthly higher low is now set. And this is a bull flag on the monthly time frame, and this is exactly what the bulls want because it keeps them very much in favor. We're now looking just like that, right back up at 51.81. I don't plan on getting there in the near-term future as far as, you know, the next couple days goes, but if we break 51.81, all-time high is in sights. So ideal start to the week. The weekly time frame breaking resistances, we had 48.60 as resistance, 48.90 was after it. We broke 48.60 and then saw some consolidation. Not surprising, as the hourly time frame is overextended, and we still haven't started consolidating on the hourly yet. The low of the day is the only hourly support, 45.07. Anything above that will be an hourly higher low. Daily time frame, beautiful follow through. The number one thing that you want to see after profit taking on a gap up open is continuation, and we got more than just a couple names seeing that continuation. Cron stood out in a big way today. Cron had its low of 15.47, and we held that support. So look at this base of support, 15.47, 53, and we held those two levels by 5 pennies and 3 pennies each, and then the bulls showed up in a big way, very clearly seeing big money correlation with what CGC was doing. Look at this 5-minute time frame for Cron on the increasing bull volume. Again, the normal pattern for trading is the bell rings and you see volume decline the first 30 minutes of the day and then reach, you know, a homeostasis to a certain degree. To see volume increase and to see the second highest or highest volume candlestick of the day happen well into the morning, that is very notable that something unusual is going on. So the Cron bulls with significant bullish action today. That being said, bulls still have work to do. We have to change the hourly trend. 17.12 is our high. Our low is 15.55. Our lower high, if we top out and can't break 17 and 17.12 tomorrow, we'll then look to pull back and form an hourly higher low. If we do break those resistance levels, our new support will be the afternoon consolidation of 1675. And really, the daily time frame is not going to change the daily trend anytime soon. We can break the daily lower highs, and the next resistance would be 1814. But to confirm a daily trend change, we will need a clear higher low and higher high, which we don't have at this point. And looking at CGC on the daily time frame, it got that higher low and higher high. We had a lack of follow through, and then the news certainly got that follow through going. ACB. Just want to touch base on my positions personally as I go through the names that I'm covering. So CGC, I re-added. So I sold the Wednesday after hours strength. I rebought Friday or Thursday weakness at the end of the day. I rebought at 44.60. And my logic there was looking for an hourly higher low to form and I wasn't looking for continuation, but I was looking for a higher low to form and for a tightening hourly range to set up. So I sold that position this morning way too early, and it was in our company account. And so I sold it and then moved on to trade with my personal account to focus on what really matters. But my point is, I want to talk about how selling and trading like this, as opposed to holding, a lot of times people who are inexperienced traders would rather hold. And that's, absolutely do that until you get the experience as a trader. But the power of selling and rebuying lower. So initially I sold at 47.40, I rebought at 44.60, and then I sold at 45.70. Where that puts me right now is still ahead of the game. I sold $2.50 below the high of the day today, and I'm still ahead of anybody that held and did not make that flip. So making a flip like that can offset, where your cost basis would be significantly. And at this point, if we would have to break 48.50 for it to be a situation where I should have just held. And in the end, I should have just held. So certainly not trying to say that was not the case. But again, I went and focused on my personal account and did a lot of trading today. And we'll go over that. So ACB, I entered ACB on the bull break of 9.14 on the US side. So let's go to the US side of things where there is more dollar volume. And let's make sure that's the case before I just say that. And that is clearly the case. So Hexo is a name that changed today in terms of, or changed the past couple days, where US volume is now seeing more than Canada. We'll look at that in just a second. But we've been watching ACB, and we've seen the bulls clearly play defense well, but they have not played offense and have not been able to break resistance. Today that changed. We had a double top and pretty much a triple top at 9.14. And we rejected from that level all day today in the afternoon. Look at the high of the day, 9.14, 9.13, 9.14. So entered the bull break at the end of the day because of the sector strength, and now we have to break 9.30. So I'm in a scenario where I'm in a position, I have some profit, and I have to see the bulls prove this break to me. And to prove this break, we have to break 9.30 tomorrow. That's not a tall order to fill. We need a 1% move to break that resistance. If we do not get it, I will exit without thinking, and I will either lock in small profit or I'll exit break even. So tomorrow morning, if we cannot break 9.30, I'm out of this trade. And if we do break 9.30, then we're going to be getting follow through that our weekly higher low has been set, and we're going to be looking up at 9.48 and 10 psychological from there. But I also want to see an increase in bull volume. Volume did not stand out today. I want to see more than 21 million shares traded tomorrow and a break of 9.30. So I already have my set game plan of what I must see happen or I will exit this position. So that helps keep it very clear and clean cut as to what I'm going to do tomorrow. And a break of 9.30 on solid bull volume that's more than the hour volume to start today would be a great way to convince me to keep holding. APHA, nice double bottom. Low of Thursday was 7.55. Low of today held it by 3 pennies. Solid bounce there. Certainly lagging behind the other stronger names, but bulls will take it at this point. Resistance is 7.86. We got up to 7.92, so we did break a resistance level. Have to see follow through. This is a scenario where if we get a bull break of the hourly trend, which we have at this point, but don't get a lot of follow through, we zoom out to the daily and look for a flag. And it would be a bear flag if we top out at, say, $8 or low $8 range and can't see follow through. The bear flag potential is there. So tomorrow, just like I need ACB to follow through for me, APHA bulls have to see a break of $8 and have to see solid bull volume to try and negate the possibility of a daily bear flag. TLRY bounce is underway. We dropped to a lower low today and closed at the high of the day. Bulls have to break 52.55 tomorrow. But again, it's a scenario where we're not going to change the daily trend anytime soon. We drop to a lower low, and we need a clear daily higher low and higher high to confirm any kind of trend change. But 52.55 and then 57.79 are the two clear resistances on the daily chart that I personally am going to be watching. Hourly higher low was not established today, so we know that we will need an hourly higher low sooner rather than later for names like CGC and TLRY. Hexo, so volume has exceeded the Canadian side on the US side, dollar volume, ever since we had that initiation of coverage and the bullish note last week. So that's notable. That caught the US's attention, and now we're shifting. We want to be charting the name that has the higher volume because that is who is steering the ship, and that's who's in charge. It doesn't mean the other side can't have an effect. It absolutely can. But if we see consistent volume on one side over the other, that's the more important chart. So 733 is the resistance from here that the bulls are approaching. The hourly higher low, we did get support established at the end of the day, trying to hold $7. So 7 psychological and then 676 are supports. Bulls want to break 713 first thing and be looking up at 725 and 733 from there. If we cannot break resistance, it's not a big red flag because we'll just be looking for a daily higher low to form on healthy consolidation after the significant high volume 3-day bull move that we have seen. TRST saw a nice bounce, but again, it's like TLRY, it dropped to lower lows. Key resistance is 994, but we're not near changing the daily trend. We can break the daily lower highs without confirming a daily uptrend, which is the scenario that we find ourselves in. So hourly bull flag at the end of the day, trying to see some healthy consolidation, and we have to break 975 and then 994 to have any kind of meaningful follow through on this bounce. Solid volume here, and we'll see if the bulls can follow through. There's more than one name, certainly a handful of names that must see follow through tomorrow to make the bulls believers after seeing so much weakness. OGI, daily inside bar, break of 875 would be bearish, break of 903 is bullish, and we would then be looking at 919, and it's not a daily trend change here either. Anything under 940 is just a lower high, and we have not pulled back on the daily yet to try and form a higher low because it was an inside bar. So 940 key resistance, anything under that's a daily lower high, and if we lose the hourly uptrend, we'll need a daily higher low to form compared to 840, and then a bull break to try and change this trend. But there's no indication that this bounce is topping out just yet, as we did close at the high of the day. VFF definitely stood out for weakness today. So I'm looking at a tightening range on VFF where we have the high from before the short attack, the low of the short attack, the lower high rejecting by 22 cents, and now the bulls are trying to form 14.99 as our higher low. We did not get convincing follow through off this level. We may just drop down and break 14.99. That would be a bit of a setback for the bulls if we see that happen tomorrow. If we break 14.99, I would zoom out to the 4-hour and look for a 4-hour equilibrium to still happen. I would still look for a higher low compared to 13.12, but the bulls are hoping that 14.99 is that higher low, and to be convinced of that, we have to break 15.87, the high of the hourly bounce. Break that level, and the hourly trend will change, and we'll have a daily higher low established, and the bulls are wanting to see a break of 14, or different name here, I'm thinking US. We want to see a break of 1740 to see a daily higher low, and then a daily higher high to change the daily trend back in favor of the bulls. VFF added to the list of another name that needs bull follow through tomorrow. T-God. So after a very weak close Thursday, nice to see the bulls shift momentum. Anything under 447 is just a daily lower high, keeping the bears in control. But we closed at the high of the day. Hourly charts very overextended. So you want to be looking at these hourly charts because some names have hourly consolidation today and some names don't. The names that don't, if we start tomorrow strong, we want to be very cautious because the odds that we need hourly consolidation tomorrow, if we get a strong start, will be very high. So anything above the low of today, down at 394, will be an hourly higher low. And if the bulls start strong, we're looking at resistance of 419, and then not a whole lot until 438. Just be aware the hourly chart is overextended. VGW is a lead bull now in the extraction space. One of them. So the bull flag on the daily chart after healthy consolidation is confirmed with continuation and a big time bull spike in volume. Anything above 352 is now a daily higher low. The hourly support here is down at 410. Bulls want to hold 410 tomorrow morning and try and break 430 for continuation. 430, 440, 450. Psychological resistances will be what we're watching to see how much follow through the bulls can get. If we lose the hourly uptrend, we zoom out on the daily and we look for a daily higher low to form compared to 352. And that's all. That's the only extraction play I'm going to look at because I got a lot to do today. Other names are weaker, but still holding on just fine. Labs and oils. And I know a lot of people want me to look at NEPT, but we already got 20 charts. And we don't have infinite time. Limited commodity. CURA. Lead USMSO bull at the top of the ETF exchanges for holdings, or the ETF holdings. Strong close. So we had a scenario today where we saw a lower low on the hourly. We saw a bear break of support. 1360 was support. We got a bear break and no follow through, which means zoom out and look for a flag. Ended up being a little bit of a 4-hour bull flag into continuation. And what stands out when you see that bear break, look how long that bear break lasted. 1360 is the level to break bearish. It lasted 5 minutes. Our low of the day was hit less than 5 minutes after that support level broke. And in reality, it was about 3 minutes after that support level broke, the low of the day was hit. And from there, we just changed the 5-minute trend. Took a little while, but we got the higher low and higher high. That tells us no bear follow through. And from there, the bulls controlled the rest of the day. And again, that low of the day was pretty much where CGC hit the low of the day as well. So new all-time highs. Still holding my CURA position. I took small profit on Cura and IAN today. Still holding my cores. Still very comfortable with the size of those positions. And looking for new all-time highs tomorrow for Cura as well. Anything on the hourly above 1342 is a higher low. So I know that if we start strong and see a bull push first thing tomorrow, I'm going to look to lock in more profit, anticipating that an hourly higher low will need to be set at some point tomorrow. IAN, also the same thing. A bear break on the hourly. Key support was down at 680. We broke it by 8 pennies. How long did that bear break last? It lasted a little bit longer. We needed to double bottom and then see the bull move. So a bit of a laggard, similar to CURA, but a bit slower. But the bottom line is not much bear follow through and looking for a daily bull flag ideally. So we do still have resistance up at 715 and 722. Hourly support, anything above 672 is an hourly higher low. And actually we did establish an hourly support at the end of the day. 703 and $7 are two key short-term supports. And if we can't break those levels, I'll be looking at a 4-hour equilibrium. Or I should say, if we can't break resistance levels, we'll be looking at a 4-hour equilibrium. So high, low, and if we can't break 722 tomorrow and we pull back and break $7, we'll be looking for a 4-hour equilibrium and tightening range. OH today, daily inside bar, not seeing much follow through for the bulls. So the hourly chart is a tightening range. We got our high at 1298, low of 1175, high of 1233, and the bulls need a higher low compared to 1175. So a tightening range on watch, and how this inside bar breaks is going to dictate if we break support of 1185, we need a daily higher low to form compared to the recent low to try and change the trend and confirm it. So this is a scenario. We broke the daily lower highs, but we have not confirmed the daily trend change because we have to see the higher low and higher high follow through to do it. If we break bullish over 1233, 1298 all-time high is in sight. CL is pretty much the exact same thing. So if we break 1622, we need a daily higher low. If we break 1689, we're looking at the all-time high. GTII, missed it in the weekend video, but we have a daily inside bar here as well. If we break bear of 2063, we need a daily higher low to form. If we break bull over 2140, we're looking at 2175 and 2202. Very similar setup to CL and OH. The only difference is we did not hit a higher high on Thursday, but everything else is looking very similar. TRUL, daily inside bar. If it breaks bear, we have to form a daily higher low. If it breaks bull, which is favored because of the strong close, we're looking at 2064 and 2118. So bull's still holding on, but we're still in a daily lower high pattern, and we may need a daily equilibrium if we have to consolidate on the daily before breaking 2118. CVSI made an entry today and set out the morning with top watch of CVSI and ZYNE. CVSI, the reason for my top watch was because we had an hourly multiple day equilibrium that broke bear on Thursday with no follow through. So if I see no follow through on a bear break, I'm looking in the other direction and I just need to see some proof. Show me something, bulls. They broke 563. That's what I needed to see. I jumped in and we saw an uptick in bull volume. We saw a strong close at the high of the day. We do have a triple top at 579. Have to break that level tomorrow morning. If we don't break 579 in the morning, I am going to exit with small profit and wait for that key break. Why was I looking for this bull entry? Well, aside from the bear break with no follow through, the weekly chart is coming off a multiple month equilibrium bull break and healthy weekly consolidation with lower wicks looking for a weekly higher low. So if I'm looking for a weekly higher low and the bear break on the daily chart got no follow through and the bulls start to show up, those are all little pieces of the puzzle indicating to me that the weekly higher low may be found at this point. So same thing, I need follow through tomorrow. I need to break up 579. From there, we're looking up at 590 as the next resistance level. So in a CVSI position. ZYNE, chose the wrong one. Should have chose ZYNE, but we were watching ZYNE for the same reason. We're looking for a weekly higher low to form after a clear bull break. The daily chart is a very clear equilibrium. High, low, lower high, held support on Thursday. Huge volume, huge follow through today. As soon as we broke 905, that's the bull break. 949 was a bonus. Volume is huge comparative to the last week of trading. And we are in continuation mode. $10 and 1054 are the next two resistances. Bulls in full control. We don't have an hourly support level here either. So we know that at some point, especially if we start strong tomorrow, we will need an hourly higher low of healthy consolidation. PYX oversold bounce underway in a big way. Volume is your clue. So Thursday's volume, 660,000 we'll call it. First hour of trading today, half of that. So if you have half of the previous day's volume in the first hour of trading, the odds are very high that you're going to see more volume. We broke 1845. It was a potential bear flag on the weak bounce on Thursday. And of course, bulls very clearly negating that at this point. But anything under 2581 is a daily lower high. We're not changing the daily trend, but the odds of a daily trend change coming at some point in the near future are very likely because of the bull volume, because of the space the bulls have to work with to form a higher low. And we need the higher low and higher high to change that daily trend. We're looking for the weekly equilibrium. So low, high, low, lower high, and we're looking for our weekly higher low to be set at 1666. And then we're going to look for a weekly lower high compared to 3269. Hourly support was established 2005. We'll just call that 20 psychological. 2117 and then 2206 are the next two resistances. Congrats to the bulls on PYX. So big bull volume on PYX and ZYNE. Tons of opportunity out there today. Pretty active trading. Swing positions and short-term day trading positions the last 2 days for me as the activity in the space has heated up. And we'll see what the bulls can put together for tomorrow. Hope you all had a good day as well. Let's see if the ACB bulls can break that 930 resistance. After hours, not much going on. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow. I forgot C-Web. C-Web is a weak day today, certainly standing out for that. Keeping in mind it's not an MSO like the other names that are seeing all this attention due to the acreage deal. So we have a double bottom down at 2673, 2671. If we break those levels tomorrow, have to form the daily higher low compared to 2428 and then turn around and break resistance of 2920 to change that daily trend back in favor of bulls, keeping in mind that we are still in a weekly uptrend and we are looking for that weekly higher low to form. So changing the daily time frame trend would give us that weekly higher low. But again, it is notable the weakness today comparative to other names in the MJ sector. So these are praying mantis egg sacs. Pretty big. So I stick them in a bag and let them heat up for up to 8 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks, and then they'll start hatching. And then you release them into the garden when they're small and they'll eat the aphids, and then as they grow up, they'll eat bigger stuff. So I'm gonna be a mantis daddy. They're so pumped. They've been in there for days.